Hello and welcome back to Incremental Factory. We're going to take a quick look at my factory today. This is the first factory I designed to launch a rocket. I wasn't intending on doing so, but once I got so far, I decided to go ahead and do it to just see what was involved. So this section on top here is going to be rocket parts and satellites. This middle part here, the main section, is all chip generation. And then this little section down here is just a starter thing. So let's jump into it real quick, take a quick peek at what I got. This was just a basic starter power factory. This was my production challenge plant stuff. It actually kept it pretty condensed this time. We can take a quick look. We have plastics at 64 points, green science at 64 points, silicon dioxide really close to the next level, which should be 80 points. I'll wait to prestige till it's done here. And Gen 1 chips at 76. So it'll be a nice little almost 300 points when I'm reset the game. So that'll be super handy. You can see I had my main struggle has been throughput. I'm limited to 40 throughput on some materials, mainly plastics, silicone, stuff like that. So I've had to do some crazy things to get through around that. This parcel here is making oil. This parcel here is making plastic. So I'm transporting 40 plastic to the production challenge plant over here. But you can only transfer 40, and I'm making 96 here, you can see here. So my way around that was basically just routing. I had extra connections. I threw a node parcel down here that can do. So I basically just drew an extra line here, an extra line there. It gives me 16. And then I just actually routed it back to the oil plant. I still get the bonus because there's no other buildings in this parcel here. And then it's routed plastic out. So there's really no plastic being manufactured here whatsoever. It's just being routed in, routed out, so I could fix the throughput issues. So 40, 40, and 16 is 96. So I'm able to take full advantage of the everything I'm producing. So that's that. Had similar issues, throughput issues on, this is my steel factory. It's all balanced out. Basically, I'm limited to 400 throughput, so it's basically the throughput I consider like similar to the belt speeds in other factory games. It's just basically your limit on how much you can transport at any given time, so finding ways around that. So I have 2 iron plants here supplying 4. These are large ones, so they can output 1766 iron ore, so quite a bit. So 4 connections would be 1600. So I'm transporting 1600 out into all these advanced steel manufacturers. Coals, I do this line, it's straight up, but it is connected to all of them. If you stretch it out, you can see, but it looks much cleaner when I have it over here. In some ways, that goes into one steel plant, since this requires 5 times the plates. I've hooked up here just so you can see it operate. It's going to fill up so fast that it barely operates at all, but you can see by the time these get up to full speed, it'll be done producing. So there you go, 400 out at each one, and it's already done. So that's how fast it is. So it works out nice. It's great because I need lots of steel for building. Did a similar thing for bricks. Just the way it worked out, these were 1-to-1 because these are large parcels. These are advanced parcels. Bricks does the same thing. I can show you how fast it fills up a storage. It's not even going to have time to kick them all on because see, it just filled up that fast. So it's crazy fast. It works awesome. Gears here. Gen 1 chips are pretty much self-contained. I have a large parcel here. It's making 6 per tick. Everything's self-contained, so maybe next playthrough I'll look at extracting some of these and taking advantage of some of the bonuses, but it's just so easy to put everything in one for Gen 1 chips and just be done with it. So Gen 2 chips are basically the same, except oil and oxygen were moved outside. Take advantage of those bonuses. It's enough to supply Gen 2 chips 9 per tick here, so 18 per tick. And some of those go up to the blue science, basically. And then over to the science factory here, it was just Gen 1 chips. Again, because they're self-contained, they're super easy. You just make them, send them over to the parcel making science, and off to the research labs. Have to have multiple research labs because of the amount of research required to be stored to do the next ones. Gen 3 chips starts to get a little more involved. Got a power plant here supplying 3 different power stations. Oil's out on its own. Phenolic acid here, or phenolic resin, is operating at 12 per tick. All it has is turning oil into petroleum, and then the resin inside here. Oil comes in from out here. These are oxygens, just oxygen producers. Germanium is just germanium. Again, that's all to take advantage of those bonuses because they only produce at 0.1. So here I have this almost filled, and 29 would normally be 2.9. Instead, it's 6.26. So definitely worth the bonus. And this is silicon germanium and low-K dielectric is being made here. Is it low-K dielectric? Yeah, low-K dielectric. So 12 and 6 per minute, or tick. Copper being sent into Gen 3 chip factory. So the Gen chip factory is operating at 12 per tick. Has room for expansion, so in my next playthrough I'm going to double and triple some of these generations because chips are going to become very important. We'll get to that in a second. But then same thing, some of it gets offshooted to purple science. These lines look nice, they work as a priority. This one goes, the first line you draw is the priority, so if this ever gets low, it'll automatically resume filling this. From my understanding is they're going to change that in the game and make it distribute evenly to all its outputs. I kind of prefer it the way with the priority, but it is what it is. And let's see here. Gen 4 chips factories gets a little more involved. Again, the power factories creating the coal ash. Oil, coal, and stone out separately. Silicone here, germanium here, oxygen, hafnium. The phenolic resin again. All being pushed into this Gen 4 chip factory here, and then we're making a little bunch of stuff here. We're making silicon germanium, we're making silicon dioxide. But all the raw ingredients are basically out here for it. It's just the machines to make them in here. So that was producing Gen 1 chips or Gen 4 chips at 6 per tick. Again, we're going to have to double or triple this stuff for the next factory, make a much bigger factory. And then again, some of it comes off for yellow science into a storage lab. And then Gen 5 chips got super involved. Again, its own power plant here, coal power here, and these 3 buildings here. Oil and stone again, silicone. Basically the same stuff that was out here is basically out here again. Again, we had some throughput issues, so I had to do some funky stuff with, actually that was down here, silicone. So silicone I had to put it into here and then take it out of here again because I couldn't get the throughput to work out. But so you can see this is basically all the raw materials. AP being made down here, hafnium disulfide up here, nanowires, graphene, all into a Gen 5 chip factory making 6 per tick. So now all these chips need sent over to the rocket control unit. The rocket control unit takes all these chips, Gen 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's see if I can find it down here, the rocket control unit. You can see right there it takes lots and lots of chips. So we're going to have to really scale up our chip production if we want this to run efficiently. But so anyways, this is just a real cursory look at it because I just wanted to see what was involved. I wasn't really focused on making it look good. So rocket control parts down here, light density frames up here. You can just see basically all the materials that are required to make it. They're being made way too quickly compared to the chips, so. And fuel cells up here, pretty simple. into rocket parts. Rocket parts, there's 100 of them required, so basically there's 400 rocket control units per rocket launch that you have to do. So 400 times, I can't remember how many chips it was, 50 chips per 400, yeah, 50 Gen 1 chips, so 400 times 50 is like 2,000. So you need 2,000 Gen 1 chips to launch one rocket. So that's why we're going to have to gear up production on that. But so anyways, that goes up to here. This is satellite production up here. And then the satellites and the rocket control parts get sent to the launch pad. So basically here is one launch pad. We have launched a rocket already. You can see we have some science waiting in. And it takes 100 rocket parts to launch a rocket and one satellite. So I'm way over on satellites. I can currently launch 4 more rockets. That'll give me the research. So I did want to do some research. I wanted to see what Beacon Tech 3 was. It requires 9,000 red science. I have exactly that stored up, so that'll be good. 6,000 green science. I have 6,500 stored up, so I basically have enough to do this. So we're going to go ahead and do it and see what's involved in building one of these. And the white science should fill up right away because I have rockets to launch. Because I wanted to do this upgrade challenge limit to 5 so that I can add one more thing to before I prestige. Oh, you can actually do 6 too, so that's nice. So that's a quick look at it. I'm going to do a mega factory next. I'm probably going to do a prestige run or 2 in between there. You can take a quick look at my skills if you want, but the skill menu is kind of bugged out right now. It's not supposed to look like this, I don't think. It usually looks more organized, but for some reason it's going crazy on me. So it's kind of hard to review the skill points I have, but they haven't really... Basically everything's at 5% building bonus, so... The next ones I will work on will be the throughput ones, so that I don't have so many throughput issues. Increase edge throughput by 8, so I'll increase some of these to fix some of my throughput issues that I'm having. So I threw a quick basic parcel down here, put a production challenge plant in it, right here. And I'm just going to dump my inventory. I've selected Gen 2 chips as my next challenge. It's worth 21 points, so that's pretty awesome. I have quite a few stored up, so I can just dump them in there and get some extra skill points before I prestige. So they're all stored in headquarters, so I'm just going to take them out of headquarters. And you can see I've already got 21 points. This will go through pretty quick. It'll be 42 points, and I'll probably wait till the third one to get to 63 points, and then go ahead and prestige. That's a quick overview of my factory. I'm going to do a mega factory next, and then I will go into a little bit more detail in that video of the issues and strategies I used to create the factory, but that's going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching.